What up, everybody? It is TJ with the intro to Day 3's Devlog. And, yeah, I guess I could start us with that I did not meet my expectations in completing all 14 scratch tracks by 5:30. And it was simply really because I think I just kind of relaxed more on that, honestly. And I played some rivals and I was relaxed. And then I decided that I was gonna go to sleep because I got super tired. I think it was because we lost or some shit, but decided I was gonna go to sleep and then listen to the demos a bunch. Marinated on that. Really good shit. Really good shit. And then I don't know, dude. The time kind of flew by. Like officially it's officially day 3 as of 5 minutes ago. So it's 1:35 right now p.m. I did not I was not able to fall asleep again, and that means I am on another freaking all nighter with that 5 hours of sleep, and then the 40 hours of being awake right before that. So yeah, I mean, I did a good amount, dude, and I will say that maybe like 3 of these hours. I don't know how long it's been since I played Marvel Rivals. It was probably like around like 3 or some shit, or like 3 or 4 or some shit. So it's been like 9 hours or some shit like that. See, I hung up some spiels to kind of empower me, now that I've decided that this is a feasible goal, truly. And it's not as outlandish or it's not as um, insane as I was kind of hoping that it would be. I mean, not like hoping. I mean, it's obviously insane, but it's not as insane as I thought it would be. Insofar as my belief in my capability of doing it, given what I know about what I've done so far and what I want to do and how I treat the process of improvisation, or really just the process in general. Like, for example, with the first 2 songs I did, Bruises and Giving Up, I did like 2 hours, or I mean, I did 3 hours of that shit. 1 second, I'm gonna grab the water. I did 3 hours for each of them, and I learned the flow of making the song templates, in Reaper especially. And then I also fought metronome bleed a bunch, because I was trying to make my first takes, my final takes, which I didn't discover, or I didn't really commit to or lean into, especially, and honor and like respect the scratch track philosophy. I didn't really respect that philosophy of it just kind of being the template for the future instrumentations and jams. So I would dedicate so much more time than I needed to, and I was focusing microscopically on a lot of little moments that, even in hindsight right now, like after listening to certain mistakes with for example, with the intro to Bruises, boom, doom, 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 bam. It like did like a weird dissonant chord as opposed to the nice soft landing that I usually do, and ended up really enjoying that. So, I mowed the lawn a couple hours ago, or like an hour ago, and then I just got back from showering from that, and I was listening to all 10 demos. I've pretty much just been listening to the demos all day, and letting ideas come to me, and questioning. Okay, yeah, now we're getting into the philosophical part, but I want to finish the technical aspect of this devlog real quick because there's not too much more. Computer, dude, as per usual. Maybe I had like 2 or 3 different hours where this main monitor wasn't working. I also struggled with Reaper because I updated Reaper, and then I was frustrated because every time that I run Reaper, right, the plugins are always scanning, and they're always looking for instances of plugins that should already be there because they have been there in all of my other times using the project file and the software. So I decided to clear the cache, which means to clear like the back of the memory of Reaper's memory of where all the plugins are. And then I was hoping that that would alleviate my frustrations that came with kind of waiting for the plugins to boot or canceling the plugins to boot, and then sometimes not even getting the equalizer or the tuner. I only used like those two really, and I guess I could just always pivot to another tuner or another equalizer because I don't even do anything in this part of the phase, and that's something I also kind of accepted as well. Is like maybe like an hour or two down the line of fighting this because at like 3,000 different plugins, you know? So I had 5,000 plugins and I had to remove some folders. But at the end of the day, I realized that I'm not even going to be mixing right now anyways. So I'm better off just freaking, what do you call it? Not worrying about it. Yeah, not worrying about it pretty much. And then by the time that I got to that point, my computer was just, no matter what I would do, like if I would run just one software, it was not responding, and then that was kind of scary. And then you know, after like the 2 hour mark, after I decided that I was going to use a plugin-less Reaper, nothing was working anyways. I also did this, my stream layout, because, you know, I got the webcam over here like I was showing you earlier. So I'm experimenting with this new layout. And then I have the, you know, the desktop in the background and shit. It'll be an interact. I chroma keyed the purple in my room, so it'll be kind of cool, you know, to be in the abyss, kind of. Man, I'm like so zonked, dude. But I'm feeling really good, and so far as like the album is concerned, you know, good. But look at this. Oh, actually, what? I just looked a second ago. Oh yeah, 4.3. Normally it's around like 3 average or some shit. 3% CPU on average. And then also I decided that I was gonna do the 24 FPS instead of the 30, but I'm gonna go back to 30 now, and I'm gonna take out that chroma key that I was talking about earlier because it's not even worth the swag. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why it's averaging a little bit higher than it should be. And then I also took out the browser timer and I replaced it with an in-house local timer. Quality of life shit, and then a bunch of how do I want to say it, like moments of acceptance, you know, such as like I'm doing scratch tracks, you know, I'm not getting the final take right now, so as soon as I accepted that, I was able to crank out a bunch of tunes, and I'm really grateful too, you know, that I wasn't in a rush to meet that time, whatever it's called, estimation that I had, like 5:30, 6:30. But I did have a fear, and when I was mowing the lawn, I'm like, I hope this isn't one of those things where I like set the goal so high, so then I like shoot for the stars and I end up at the 40 point. Like I really do want to get all 4 albums out, and I do want to make the video game. So I am trying really hard to keep myself in the game, because otherwise I just be like stressed out awake because I can't fall asleep, you know. Haven't been able to fall asleep, so I'm really grateful for the freaking demos though, because oh my gosh, dude, I've got super good super interesting ideas that I'm ready to play with, and it's got me like it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, like what if I do this versus this and then versus this, and then I'm like, oh, what if I add this song for the intro, and then or what if I put this song in the middle and at this one point, and I'm like having so much fun with the parts that I am eventually question myself. I'm like, yeah, I hope this isn't one of those things where I only end up with one album because I'm spending all of this time getting excited, with the curation and the designing process. So I'm taking my observations and my instinctual, like, first reaction, first gut sort of harmonies or like things that I might want to try out. Like for Bruises, for example, the Bruises outro, I was thinking it could be more trombone based, and then it could be like a way to represent bruising. Here, I can try to draw it to you. It's super weird to think about explaining, but I think it makes sense to me, So I don't know. Maybe I'll have a better description once I get more sleep too. I'm just fucking getting voyeured upon. But I'm open up this thing. So this is so. If this was the stereo field or whatever, to represent the bruises on hand, I'd have like a horn part do like two notes here, do 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 do, and it'd be like in my head it's someone falling or whatever, and then I could be like blow, with the fifth part, and then they're all holding the chord or some shit, and then that's just like one idea. Ways that I can play with the concepts and my interpretations of those concepts in a musical way that would complement the environment and the atmosphere of the song. So I am not really interested in just doing stuff. I'm like in that weird gray area between like not wanting to just throw whatever just like the first thing that I do into the mix and call that what it is. But I also don't want to take more than like an hour or whatever for each instrument for each song. So I probably want to do it. I probably want to commit to like one of the first three takes or some shit like that, and in that whole time I will be deliberating which would represent what in certain areas for at least like 60% of it, probably. I'm kind of guessing. And then the rest of it might just be lucky parallelisms because I'm just trying to play to the metronome, and then maybe my subconscious could be filling in some gaps or whatever. But yeah, my plan for today now, I'm gonna go ahead and end this log. My plan for today now is that since it's 2 o'clock and I am fully committed to staying up for until I'm tired, until I gotta go to sleep, and I just like to fall asleep naturally, I'm gonna do the trombone. And then I kind of anticipated, like that the second phase could be trombone or it could be bass. I was kind of expecting bass because I was gonna be done with phase one by 5:30 by the time that I was planning earlier. But now that it is a good time to play trombone, I will definitely tackle that after I do the last 4 songs or whatever of the album, scratch track wise. And I'm guessing it's like 2 p.m. right now. What do I have? I have Turtle, Did You, Sunshine, The Box, and then Personality. So again, I think that'll be no more than an hour and a half. So to be safe, I'll say I'll probably be playing trombone from 4:30 till 8 or 8:30. And in my experience with improvising trombone parts, I really just fucking click the record button and just play. the entire song, and then I just do that like literally like 13 times, and then I find a way to make it all work. And so far, I have not been disappointed, you know. And like, as I'm grinding through these rotations and these repetitions and the repetitions of the song, I'm going to be inspired by an idea after the fact. So then the next rotation, I'll try to like do something, you know, similar. Then I'll probably have some sort of relationship between the new iteration and the old iteration, you know. So then I can like play with the stereo field that way. Then it could be another example. Not really a call and response, but maybe a sprinkler move, bro. Maybe more like a sprinkler move. It's like it kind of is like a sprinkler actually. That's kind of gangster, bro. Yeah, so I invented a new trick right now. It's called the sprinkler move, and it's a surround or it's a stereo trick. It's a stereo trick. So yeah, I'm gonna chug some more water. Hey, it looks like for whatever reason, with the plugins that it found, let's see if it has what I want. Nope. Why did they stop, bro? Come on, let's keep loading. Keep loading, boy. Something that's really annoying too is that like these are all the plugins that it is aware of, but it hasn't tested, right? And it doesn't do it. It doesn't show us in an easy way where I can just fucking like scroll the list. I gotta hold the mouse button and then like fucking pinch my eyes so I can see. And then it's looking at DLL files. It's not even looking at plugins the whole time. It's just such a clutter fest. It's so silly. But yeah, I was hella frustrated at first, but oops, what did I do? I was hella frustrated for the first hour or so, but I also felt like I kind of deserved it, so I wasn't that mad. You know, I deserved it because I cleared the cache. So it's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense that it's gonna take its fucking time with all the freaking plugins, and I'm the one that got 5,000 plugins, so you know, one of the things that does annoy me, that really did annoy me, was if I just leave the software on and I go do something else, there's a high chance that it won't continue searching through all the plugins because there will be like a plugin that has a dialog box that I would need to close first before it decides that it's time to move to the next one. So I like have to be here for the most part if I want to get all of the plugins that I want to get. And there's no way that I can just search in the folder. So I have to, I'm guessing that once I freaking erase this and just like make a new dedicated plugin folder with the actual plugins that I want, all the other plugins that I've loaded are not going to be here. So I'm just kind of sleeping on that. I was going to do that at the beginning of the stream, but I may as well just do that later because to mixing, I'm probably just going to use an equalizer anyways. I was even considering using Audacity, you know, some like hella lightweight shit because my computer was not having it. Was not having any of it. I honestly don't know why it is now. I just turned it off. I like let it rest, I guess. And I went to go mow the lawn and I came back and then oh my god, yeah. This monitor turned on. I'm so grateful. So I'm not going to fuck this up. I've reached my acceptance point with the fact that I'm in scratch track mode. I don't need like any plugins, and I have a tendency to explore everything, and it's kind of hurting me. But at the same time, it has given me some sort of distance from the project in itself, which has its pros and cons, I guess, depending on how this all turns out. I personally, right now, I see it as a pro because I have had time to just not stream and not to pressure myself to make any more output or to like write anything or to commit anything in stone. Where I'm actually just getting in I'm kind of rationalizing some shit. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but I'm gonna do it anyways for right now, and then I'll probably lay off my rationalizations of whatever as these devlogs go on. But you know, I'm escalating in my own emotionality, and I'm listening to the demos at the same time, and the demos have been treating me, and they've been serving me so well during my frustrations. You know, so more power to me, I guess, with that all said and done. So yeah, that's my devlog for day 3. Thank you for bearing with me if you made it this far. I am surprised that I even mustered words in the first place, even if highly spaced, with many pauses for consideration, because I am not like able to come up with this shit off the rip, like just like willy-nilly in the way that I want to right now. So yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll be streaming probably before this video even finishes uploading. So peace.